So good morning everyone. Welcome to all. This lecture number 15 of module 2, that is evaluation of the present state. In the previous lectures we talked about sanskar, culture and civilizations. And from this lecture number 15 and 16, we are going to talk about evaluation of the present state and steps for the transition. So let's start the lecture. So basically we are going to discuss 2 points. In this lecture, we are going to critically evaluate the present society. And in next lecture number 16, we will see the steps for transition to reach the desired state of the society. So one important thing is, in this chapter, we are going to critically analyze the present state. So the major concern is to review and analyze the present culture, civilization, with a view whether we are promoting human characteristics, perspectives, and tendencies or not. For example, if we talk about advertisement, so in present state, there is a bombarding of advertisement around us through social media, through TV, through radio, etc. But the issue is whether these advertisements are propagating human characteristics, perspectives and tendencies. Because what we are watching, what we are listening in the form of advertisement is going to impact me. And if these advertisements are not on the basis of human characteristics, human perspectives, then our sanskars, our civilization is going to corrupt. So if we see that perspective of advertisement being presented today, so basically it is primarily to generate the need of the products to use in place of showing its utility. So most of the time, the utility of the product is not being projected. What is happening? They are only propagating the need of the products. So frequently we see this kind of advertisement. We can notice it that they are primarily propagating the need of the product, and many times these advertisements make us believe that we require those commodities, those products. So looking at the same in terms of physical facility, we need to check whether we are promoting in sense of indulgence or right utilization. This is a serious question. We have to evaluate our present state. We have to evaluate our present civilization. We have to evaluate our present culture from the behavioral aspect, from the perspectives, whether it is right or not. Similarly, if we see behavioral aspects, there is a need to check whether we are promoting justice or injustice, whether we are promoting feeling of relationship or opposition. So there are two possible approaches when we are going to critically analyze the present state. What are those possible approaches? Number one, problem-centric approach. Problem-centric approach means we are only focusing on the problems and trying to find out their solutions. And in solution-centric approach, focusing on the solutions and trying to evaluate the problems as an absence of the solutions. So in this approach, problem-centric approach, we are primarily focusing only on the problem, and we are trying to get rid of this problem anyhow. But in second approach, solution-centric approach, we are contemplating the solution and we are seeing the problem in the absence of the solution. So in solution-centric approach, we have solution in the center, holistic solution in the center. In problem-centric approach, we are only focusing on the problem. So in solution-centric approach, we are generally trying to understand how we can ensure a fulfilling life for ourselves and all, and then work for such a living in our day-to-day life. So this approach basically help us to see our role as a human being. So if we talk about solution-centric approach, it helps us to see our role as a human being in this nature, how we can ensure living with mutual fulfillment in this nature. Then we can try to live like this and verify ourselves that this does lead to a state of fulfillment for oneself and the other, ultimately for everyone. This is the state of complete solution. It means I am interconnected. I have this sense that I am interconnected with every unit. I know how to live a fulfilling life. And now I see that problem in the absence of that solution, where I am not able to fulfill those natural laws, those coexistential laws. This is a state of complete solution. So basically, if we follow solution-centric approach, it gives a holistic perspective of human living. Holistic perspective of human living. In the light of this, now we can see that individual solutions are part of it, and individual problems are lack of individual solutions. They are not isolated. Therefore, we do not try to solve them in isolation. We are looking at these problems in the light of overall solutions and trying to solve them accordingly. However, it may happen that there is some priority. So if urgent, we may give priority to work on individual solution to solve an individual problems. So we can see that the prevailing approach today is the problem-centric approach. However, what approach we are going to take here for critical analysis? We are going to take solution-centric approach. Okay. So we are going to proceed with solution-centric approach. So taking solution-centric approach, we try to develop a holistic perspective about human existence. Through this approach, through holistic approach, holistic perspective, we have been able to identify our goals at all 4 levels of living. Till now, if we see, in previous lectures, we have focused on human-human relationship. We focused on identification of relationship, its acceptance. We focused in ensuring the natural feeling in oneself and its fulfillment with others. So this provides the basis for a human society in which trust, respect, affection are ensured for every human being. And in the absence of these feelings in relationship, we all face many kind of problem in the society. So in light of this, we can make a critical analysis of the present day situation in terms of whether this mutual fulfillment in relationships is ensured at different levels or not. Different level means at the level of individual, family, society, nature, existence. So wherever this mutual fulfillment in relationship is not ensured at any of these levels, it will show up as problems at that level. So basically, what problems we are facing in the society, it because of lack of mutual fulfillment in relationship. So if we are facing problem at the level of family, it means there is a lack of mutual fulfillment. If we are facing problem at the level of society, it means there is a lack of relationship. There is a ignorance of relationship. There is a ignorance of mutual fulfillment. So with this background, we will try to analyze the present state of the society. But if we observe at the level of, if we observe the problems, we can see that individual, family, society, are large because of the absence of fulfillment of relationship at any particular level. So if we ensure fulfillment of these feelings at each of these levels, then it seems feasible that we will naturally get rid of the problems that we are facing today. Of course, it is going to take time, but these will be resolved gradually. Okay, so let's see problems. As I told you, and you can easily observe it, that in a society there are many problems at the level of individual, family, society, nature, existence. At every level you can see ample of problems, and you can investigate, you can observe that all these problems are due to lack of this fulfillment of feelings. So if we see current state, this is the current state. What is the current state? There is a obsession for consumption, there is a obsession for profit, there is a obsession for sensual pleasures. Similarly, we can see there is a terrorism, war in the society, there is exploitation, natural depletion, pollution in the nature. So why it is happening? Because of absence of these goals. If we focus only on these problems and we don't have idea of this solution, then it will create again a problem. So these problems can be eliminated in the society while ensuring these goals in everyone. So why there is a problem at the level of individual, problem of obsession, consumption, profit, sensual pleasure? Because in every individual there is an assumption that money is everything. So if we see in the terms of solution, what should be ensured in every individual? If we ensure right understanding, right feeling at the level of individual, then these assumptions will be evaluated gradually and we can get rid of these problems. So basically these problems exist because of the ignorance of this goal. So if we ensure this goal, we can get rid of these problems gradually. Similarly, at the level of family, there is a need of prosperity, feeling of prosperity. In the absence of fulfilling this feeling, what is happening? Many people are trying to accumulate more things by any means, and it is resulting into accumulation of things, which is ultimately exploiting the nature. Similarly, fearlessness in society. If we ensure this goal, then there will no domination, exploitation in the society, because it is happening, domination, exploitation is happening because there is not trust, there is a lack of trust in the society. So by fulfilling this feeling of trust, we can get rid of these problems. Similarly, at the level of nature, there is a problem of resource depletion, pollution. Why? Because we are not able to see coexistence with nature. If we are not able to see coexistence of nature, we assume nature as a source of consumption, and unknowingly we start exploiting nature. Okay, so how can we get rid of these problems? By ensuring these goals in the society. If we ensure these goals, we can get rid of these problems gradually. So if we want to transit from the current state to desired state, ensuring fulfillment in relationship is must. And this fulfilling relationship can only be ensured if a person has right understanding, right feeling. Thus, to work for ensuring the right understanding, right feeling in an individual is a fundamental step for transition. So if we see most of the problem in our society today, like problem of war, problem of terrorism is because of the lack of relationship. So you can see around you that nowadays war has become a big international problem. A large fraction of world resources, more than 50%, is spent in preparation of these wars. If we look closely, this is a problem of lack of relationship. This is a problem of lack of relationship, and ultimately problem of lack of right understanding and right feeling. So if a country is not able to see its relationship with other country, then the problem of war generates. So therefore, one or both are eager to exploit in the absence of fulfillment of these relationships. They try to defeat each other. They try to prove their superiority. So it must be obvious that both the parties, that war is a loss for both of them, but they are not able to stop it because they are not able to see that there exists, they are not able to see any better path which can be ensured with the feeling of relationship, with the feeling of cooperation. Similarly, the same holds for us also. We are busy fighting with neighbors. We are having feeling of jealous with neighbors. We have created a wall around our family and consider those within the family as our relative and rest all as outsiders, as opponents. That's why many times we are ready to do anything for those family members, and we do not even hesitate to exploit others for the benefit of our family. Why it is happening? Because I have considered only my family members as a relative and others as an opponent. So we are exploiting unknowingly others and trying to get those accumulated things for our family members. So all these are happening because we are not able to see the relationship with others. The same is happening at all the levels, that is between village, district, states, etc. All the fights, wars, grudges are due to lack of relationship and are due to basically lack of right understanding and right feeling. So even if we see things from our perspective, today we all want to move forward, leaving others behind. We have made it as an indicator of our progress. We do not think in terms of combined progress because we are not able to see other people as our relative. Another example you can see, like terrorism. It has also the same root, that is lack of relationships. So we treat one particular group of people like our own and the rest all as others. As soon as this differentiation of my own and the other come in, human relationships get neglected and we become ready to do anything for our people at the cost of harming the others, killing the others. So most of the time we are ignoring this relationship and it is creating many problems in society. Similarly, most of the time we are doing to get respect from our society. We have not understood the feeling of respect because of lack of this right understanding in myself. And we have not understood the feeling of respect, that it is not a thing just to get from outside. Rather, it needs to be established in oneself. So if we understand the true meaning of relationship, these feelings, we get rid of this mindset of individual progress through cutthroat competition. We will rather think of cooperation with the right understanding. We think of how can we participate in a society for well-being of all and how a harmonious society can be developed. So keeping this in mind, the whole course, if you see the whole course, half of the course is focused on relationship. To understand the feeling of these relationships. So you must have remembered this in the previous lectures, starting from lecture number 1. We are talking about established values, expressed values, different formulations of relationship given in traditions, talking about culture, civilization, sanskar. Almost half of the course is focused on the relationship, because lack of relationship, ignorance of relationship is the root cause of many problems in the society. So if we ensure these feelings in our behavior, in our conduct, most of the problems in human interaction will be automatically solved. So you can make a list. Try to make a list of the problems around you, problems at the level of individual, problems at the level of family, problems at the level of society, problems at the level of nature. Make a list of those problems and find out what is the root cause of this problem. So for example, problems in relationship, problems in family is because of lack of relationship or because of lack of physical facility. Fight between you and neighbor is because of lack of relationship or because of lack of physical facility. So if you investigate properly in right manner, you can find out that at the root, the lack of relationship is the problem. And the scope of improvement is also exist. We can contribute to finding the solution at our level, at the level of family, at the level of society. So we also need to discuss what our purpose is behind every endeavor. Each person should have maximum physical facility, or some people should get maximum physical facility. There is a need to discuss what should be the focus of our culture and civilization. Is it focused on the growth of some or all the people? Does it focus on the well-being of every human being or some people? So this question must be raised so that there would be a specific design of the whole system, societal structure, in view the well-being of human beings collectively as a whole, not in fractions. So we are thinking about collective well-being and not individual's well-being. And this is a big change in mindset which needs to be understood. So if there is a conflict between personal interest and collective interest, then which one be prioritized? This we need to raise a question. There might be human clashes until we prioritize between the individualistic approach to accessibility of physical facilities and the collective approach to accessibility. If we are concerned for some people under an individualistic approach, a mindset of indulgence will increase and vice versa. On the other hand, the collective approach will help to make a shift to live within the possible resources which everyone can meet. So along with this, we can take many issues. We can take many issues and we will find out that most of the issues which we are facing today are because of lack of fulfillment of relationship, lack of fulfillment of these goals. So why there is a lack of fulfillment in society? Because we have not fulfilled this first goal. So if we ensure these goals in our education system, then one may be able to ensure these feelings in society. So with this, now we can sum up the whole lecture. So basically in this lecture, we talked about two approaches: problem-centric approach and solution-centric approach. So we can analyze anything, any issue of the society, any culture, any civilization, either problem-centric approach or solution-centric approach. Problem with this problem centric approach is we keep focus on the problem only, and we try to get rid of those problems. When problem is in focus, we do not understand its interconnectedness, interrelatedness with other issues. So we try to solve my problem related to me in isolation. And if you see the whole existence is actually a coexistence. There is an interconnectedness, there is an interrelatedness. So no problem can be solved in isolation. Problem can be solved with a holistic perspective. Problem can only be solved with a holistic vision. So if we solve my problem or any problem, keeping other things in focus, then it is a solution-centric approach. So with solution-centric approach, my approach is holistic. It means I am able to see interconnectedness from individual to family, to society, to nature existence. And we are able to see their innateness. We are able to see my participation. With this approach, with this wisdom, now we are trying to solve the problem. Now I can see that this problem exists because of lack of fulfillment of comprehensive human goals or lack of fulfillment of relationship. So what would be my focus now? My focus would be to ensure this to ensure the fulfillment of relationship. If I try to ensure fulfillment of relationship, the problem will get automatically solved. Now you can pause this video for 2 minutes. You can take pause, make your own list of problems, or make the list of your previous problems which you solved, and write in next column whether you took the first approach, problem centric approach, or solution centric approach. So in previous days, few days back, you tried to solve many problems. You can make a list of those problems, and in next column mark which approach you took to solve those problems. You solved those problems with problem centric approach, or you solved those problems with solution centric approach. And also observe, when you solve problems with problem centric approach, whether it is solved now or some another problem exists because we have not taken solution centric approach. And solve the problem with solution centric approach and see which one is better, problem centric approach or solution centric approach. So with solution centric approach, there is a need to be a holistic vision in myself. There is a sense of interconnectedness with every unit in this nature. If I have this sense, if I have this realization of this coexistence, then we will take solution centric approach. So that's all from my side for this lecture. In next lecture, we are going to talk about steps required for the transition from the current state to desired state of the society. Okay, thank you very much. So let's meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Have a good day.